Embark on a spine-chilling journey through my top 10 favorite sci-fi and horror films. A curated selection ranging from the grotesque transformation of the fly to the extraterrestrial terror in Aliens. All this coming right at you, so stick around. Yeah!
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass.
Hey there, fellow den dwellers. Scott here again in the Movie Den. Thanks for tuning into my channel. The allure of 80s films is more than nostalgia. It's like a time capsule from my youth, a kaleidoscope of magic that shaped my taste, filled my heart with joy, and ignited my passion for movies. It still resonates today. And it's not just the science fiction and horror movies of the 80s. It was every genre producing quality and entertaining films. Whether it was sequels, which were really heavy in the 80s, or original films. With all that out of the way, let's get right into this top 10. That's why you came here in the first place. Up first at number 10 is Videodrome, where reality takes a back seat and confusion is the co-pilot. Directed by David Cronenberg, Videodrome is an absolute mindfuck of a journey through a dystopian world of media, technology, and bodily transformation. It revolves around Max Wren, played by James Wood, a TV producer who's looking for fresh new content, and through his journey, he discovers a pirate broadcast called Videodrome, a hyper-violent torture show that takes him on a hallucinatory trip through a shadowy realm of right-wing conspiracies and sadomasochistic sex games. Whew. This movie stands out as one of Cronenberg's most original and provocative works, blending social commentary with shocking elements of sex and violence. Deborah Harry from Blondie also stars in this, and she does a fine job. The special effects makeup by Academy Award winner Rick Baker are groundbreaking, and that's pretty impressive for the film's low budget. The visuals, though would be considered dated by modern audiences, were well ahead of its time, and that leads to the film's reputation as one of the most influential, mind-bending science fiction films of its era. For those who appreciate the strange and unconventional, Videodrome offers a perfect cinematic experience. This movie may not be everybody's cup of tea, but for those into the what the fuck, it delivers on its promise. The plot, while seeming a bit silly, is complemented by fine performances from the cast, with James Woods and Deborah Harry standing out. Despite the fantasy elements involving the lead actors, the film should be seen and commended for its contribution to the horror genre, and it is true to Cronenberg's signature style of combining horror with thought-provoking themes. If you're into movies that challenge your sanity and push the boundaries of reality, then Videodrome is right up your alley. Just be prepared for an existential crisis, a headache, and the sudden urge to never look at your TV screen the same way again. It's kind of like The Matrix on acid with the side of what the fuck. Up at number 9 is The Hidden. Now, this stars Kyle MacLachlan and Michael Nouri. I think that's how you say his name, Nouri. This is a refreshing take on the sci-fi thriller genre, blending a nice combination of suspense, action, and a little bit of humor. The plot revolves around a detective played by Nouri, who is perplexed by a series of bizarre crimes, only to be informed by a mysterious FBI agent, played by Kyle MacLachlan, that extraterrestrial entities are invading innocent victims and turning them into violent psychopaths with a penchant for heavy metal music, red Ferraris, and unspeakable violence. The characters, both good and bad, are well developed, and this allowed me to connect with them on a human level. Michael Nouri and Kyle MacLachlan do give solid performances in what could have easily been just a solid B movie. The film's direction and script provide a satisfying resolution to the storyline. This deserves more than just a casual look. I encourage y'all to see it for its unique qualities within the sci-fi genre. This movie isn't just good, it's hideously fun. So check this one out and enjoy the satisfaction of cheering on relatable heroes while giving a collective eye roll to the villains crazier than your aunt's conspiracy theories. The hidden where human values meets intergalactic shenanigans. Up next at number 8 is Dead Heat, a 1988 gem that pairs buddy cop banter with a generous sprinkle of undead charm. If you haven't had the pleasure of witnessing this supernatural cop comedy, buckle up because it's a ride that gets better with each reanimation. Dead Heat emerges as a hidden gem in the realm of horror comedy, offering a unique blend of sci-fi horror, action, buddy cop elements that is both entertaining and underappreciated, I think. The film follows Maverick LAPD officer Roger Mortis, played by Treat Williams, and his partner Doug Bigelow, played by Joe Piscopo, as they investigate a mysterious medical company that resurrects the dead into indestructible criminals. The witty banter between Williams and Piscopo add a layer of fun to the narrative, creating a chemistry that enhances the overall viewing experience. Directed by Mark Goldblatt and penned by Terry Black, the film successfully combines cliched situations and stereotypes from both the buddy cop and the zombie genres, resulting in a formula that works really well for this film. Treat Williams and Joe Piscopo give memorable performances with well-timed jokes and satisfying action sequences. The inclusion of horror legends Vincent Price and Darren McGavin as the antagonists adds a further charm to the film. Dead Heat stands out for its impressive special effects and makeup work by Steve Johnson, creating gory and funny scenes that contribute to the film's cult status. The Chinese butcher shop alone with the attacking carcasses, oh my god, it's a great scene. Probably one of my favorites in the whole movie. The film's humor, often utterly stupid but undeniably entertaining, is complemented by the effective use of one-liners. While overshadowed by other horror releases in 1988, its later success on VHS and cult following attest to its lasting appeal. Ultimately, Dead Heat is a great mix of action, horror, and comedy, providing an engaging and entertaining experience for me, and I'm sure it will for you. So if you haven't experienced the joy that is Dead Heat, do yourself a favor, check it out, and embark on this undead adventure. It's a nostalgic trip to a time when buddy cop movies were king, zombies were more comedic than frightening, and every action sequence ended with a punchline. And at number 7, we enter the watery realm of 1989's Leviathan, where the abyss meets the absurd. Director George P. Cosmatos takes the plunge into the underwater horror genre, giving us a film that's part deep-sea terror, part unintentional comedy, and all-around cool creature feature. Leviathan surfaces as a thrilling and entertaining entry in the underwater horror genre, battling alongside other films of this type like Deep Star 6 and James Cameron's The Abyss. While the storyline draws parallels to the iconic Alien, the film's sheer 80s action sci-fi horror fun sets it apart. The characters who are punched out of the sci-fi horror mold find redemption in the talented cast, which features Peter Weller, Richard Crenna, Ernie Hudson, Daniel Stern, and Meg Foster. The earnestness displayed by the actors lends the movie a charm that is often missing in contemporary sci-fi horror, with everyone taking the rather ridiculous premise seriously, crafting a sense of nostalgia for the 80s cinematic era. Stan Winston's creature effects are pretty good, and they add a layer of excitement to the suspenseful plot. The film's retro near-future setting aboard a deep-sea underwater mining rig, coupled with some good set design and production design, add a visually engaging backdrop to the unfolding chaos. The characters are well portrayed, and they are distinct in what they do. Despite its obvious alien influences, Leviathan manages to carve out its identity as a well-plotted, action-packed adventure that doesn't shy away from delivering decomposing body parts, tentacle monsters, flamethrowers, and explosions. Leviathan is a creature feature that swims in the shallows of horror while occasionally treading the waters of unintentional comedy. It may not be deep, but it's worth a dive. So if you haven't seen it yet, grab your scuba gear and a bag of popcorn because Leviathan is waiting in the murky depths, ready to entertain and bemuse in equal measures. Check it out. At number 6, we have Event Horizon. This film follows Lawrence Fishburne, Sam Neill, and a ragtag crew of spacefaring misfits on a rescue mission to the Event Horizon. Makes the Millennium Falcon look like a tricycle, and this ain't your grandmother's spaceship. This is a Gothic cathedral on steroids, hurtling through the cosmos, and it's got more secrets than Area 51 after an alien kegger. Event Horizon emerges as a surprising and underappreciated horror classic, blending sci-fi horror and psychological elements to create a gripping and chilling experience. The film follows the rescue mission of the spaceship Event Horizon, which disappeared years earlier during a mission to create a black hole for faster space travel. And as the crew investigates, they uncover disturbing events and encounter the psychological and supernatural horrors lurking within the ship. The film's setting plays a pivotal role in creating a perfect atmosphere for a sci-fi horror hybrid. The eerie Gothic interior of the Event Horizon, surrounded by stormy conditions in space, contributes to a sense of isolation and impending dread. The characters portrayed by a talented cast, including Lawrence Fishburne and Sam Neill, of course, add depth to the narrative. Sam Neill's Dr. Weir stands out as a complex and evil antagonist who's haunted by personal tragedies that lead him down a path of madness. The backstories of the other characters, such as Captain Miller and Lieutenant Peters, add emotional layers to the experiences aboard the haunted ship. Event Horizon is a cosmic carnival of horror that boldly goes where no movie has gone before, into the unhinged void of deep space insanity. It's a roller coaster ride through a black hole of terror and a reminder that in space, no one can hear you scream, but they can see you losing your mind. In a time where horror remakes were as abundant as leg warmers and hairspray, one film stood out like a glob of gooey awesomeness. That's 1988's The Blob. That's our number 5, and it's a remake of the 1958 classic starring Steve McQueen. The Blob is one of those rare remakes that not only pays homage to the original, but cranks it up a bit and outshines it with some gore, some gooiness, and some good old-fashioned violence. Set in a seemingly idyllic California town, this reimagining introduces us to a group of high school kids who stumble upon a gelatinous terror that has a particular appetite for flesh. Directed by Chuck Russell and adapted by Frank Darabont, this film takes the premise of the 1958 classic B-movie and cranks up the horror to spine-chilling levels. If you're a fan of small-town horror, this is the perfect recipe. A picturesque town with a facade of perfection hiding something sinister underneath. And then, bam, the blob descends on the town. What makes this remake exceptional is its ability to balance humor, strong performances, and surprisingly high production value. It's a monster movie that doesn't shy away from the weirdness lurking beneath the surface of the suburban life. The Blob steals the show. In this version, the Blob appears genuinely predatory and intelligent, almost like it's scheming and plotting its next move. The special effects team deserves kudos because they did a good job with this sucker. A lot of people like the original deep purple raspberry jam looking thing that lacked personality, but I dig the sparkly and gooey fiberglass installation look of the Blob. It's pretty darn cool. The Blob wreaks havoc on the small town, dispatching the residents in the town in exciting and downright disgusting ways. The film fully explores the potential of a giant sentient blob that dissolves and absorbs anything in its path. It's the kind of movie that keeps you coming back for more. Chuck Russell's vision, the stellar practical effects, and the witty banter make this film a cult classic. The Blob is a gooey, gory, downright awesome horror remake that not only competes with the classic, but sometimes even outshines it. And at number 4 is They Live. In the interstellar buffet of 80s sci-fi, John Carpenter's They Live stands out like a glow-in-the-dark alien in a sea of space invaders. It's not just an alien invasion movie, it's social commentary on steroids, and it's wrapped up in a nice little B-movie package with a side of satirical humor. Who knew sunglasses would be so revolutionary? The film centers on our hero John Nada, played by the wonderful wrestler Roddy Piper, as a down-on-the-luck construction worker. When he stumbles upon a pair of sunglasses that reveal the world's true alien-infested colors, things get real. Suddenly, billboards and magazines transform into subliminal messages like a dystopian Mad Libs game gone haywire. And let's not forget the classical line.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass.
If that doesn't scream cinematic gold, what does? They Live delves into Carpenter's signature blend of horror and social commentary while exploring the perils of class warfare, media manipulation, and rich aliens who have a taste for human subjugation. The message is as heavy-handed as a sledgehammer, but it also delivers with a wink and a nod. Roddy Piper may not have been a thespian extraordinaire, but Carpenter knew what he did when he was doing when he cast him. With a face that looked like it's been through a few rounds in the ring and the charisma of a seasoned showman. Piper becomes the unexpected but perfect champion for the human resistance. Keith David, the yin to Piper's yang, adds a depth of credibility and a lot of muscle to the duo. The effects are pretty good. Carpenter, the maestro of atmosphere on a budget, once again pulls off the impossible. The practical effects portraying the real world seen through the sunglasses are like an acid trip without the bad vibes. It's a visual feast that makes you question whether you need those Ray-Bans after all. They Live isn't without its flaws. The dialogue occasionally stumbles into clunkiness, and a little bit more time with the rebellion could have deepened our connection to those freedom fighters. But let's face it, we're not here for the Shakespeare. We're here for Piper and David duking it out and the sheer absurdity of aliens hiding in plain sight. They Live may not be John Carpenter's magnum opus, but it comes damn close. It's a classic that marries political critique with bubblegum bravado. This film may preach about the evils of consumerism, but it's also a testament to the enduring appeal of 80s sci-fi, where the line between profound and preposterous is as blurry as the lens of those magic glasses. So grab your shades, bring some extra bubblegum, and join the resistance. Now getting into the top 3, we have The Fly, the 1988 remake. In the eclectic realm of 80s cinema, where shoulder pads were as prominent as mullets, David Cronenberg's The Fly stands out like a Jeff Goldblum-size anomaly. The science fiction horror gem isn't just a cautionary tale about the perils of transportation. It's also a symphony of grotesque beauty. As the eccentric scientist Seth Brundle, Goldblum delivers a performance so captivating you'll almost forget he's turning into something that would give Kafka nightmares. His transformation from charismatic geek to the Brundlefly is not just a special effects showcase, it's a testament to Goldblum's dedication to his role. Never has a man-fly ever been so strangely endearing. And what's a lead man without a leading lady? And enter Gina Davis as Veronica. She's an intrepid journalist who stumbles upon Brundle's telepod experiment, and she brings a perfect mix of charm and horrified fascination. She proves that even as her boyfriend morphs into the buzzing nightmare, she'll stick around for the drama. True love, right? Cronenberg's direction is nothing short of genius. He weaves a narrative that balances gruesome body horror with genuine emotional depth. The transformation sequences are a visceral ballet, a grotesque dance of science gone wrong. The makeup effects, courtesy of Chris Wallace, are Oscar-worthy, turning Brundle's metamorphosis into a hauntingly beautiful nightmare. The Fly also flaunts a dark sense of humor with lines like,
"Be afraid. Be very afraid."
becoming iconic in the horror lexicon. Cronenberg doesn't shy away from the absurdity of the situation, embracing a man's slow metamorphosis into insect royalty. As with any good sci-fi flick, The Fly delves into deeper themes. The telepod, a device that provides instant transportation, becomes a metaphor for pitfalls of unchecked scientific ambition. It's Cronenberg's warning against playing God, wrapped in a layer of Cronenbergian body horror that'll make your skin crawl and your stomach turn. The film's practical effects still hold up magnificently. The grotesque image of Brundlefly is a testament to the craftsmanship of a pre-CGI era. Howard Shore's beautiful but haunting score adds another layer to the film. It enhances the emotional roller coaster. It's a symphony of dread and tragedy that lingers, much like the image of Brundle's final form. The Fly is more than just a horror film. It's a meditation on humanity and the consequences of tampering with the fabric of existence. Goldblum and Davis deliver performances that anchor the film in both its emotional and grotesque elements, while Cronenberg's direction turns the story into a visual and thematic masterpiece. The Fly is more than just a horror movie. It's a meditation on humanity and the consequences of tampering with the fabric of existence. Goldblum and Davis give stellar performances that anchor the film both in its emotional and grotesque elements. Cronenberg's direction turns the story into a visual, thematic masterpiece. It's a fly on the wall in terms of cinema history, buzzing with brilliance and leaving an incredible mark on the sci-fi horror genre. If you haven't seen it, most of you have, I'm sure you have. But if you haven't, grab a fly swatter and prepare for a journey into the Cronenbergian abyss. Just be careful not to teleport yourself into an alternate reality where man and the insect become one. At number 2 is Aliens. In the vast cosmos of sci-fi cinema, there are films that soar like shooting stars, and then there's James Cameron's Aliens, a supernova of cinematic brilliance that left audiences clenching their seats and checking dark corners for xenomorphs. If there's ever been a sequel that not only lived up to its predecessor, but transcended it, it's this masterpiece. First off, I want to give a round of applause to James Cameron. The man not only followed Ridley Scott's iconic footsteps, but did so with a swagger that could make even a face hugger question its existence. Cameron took the atmospheric horror of Alien and turned it into an adrenaline-fueled roller coaster complete with pulse rifles, smart grenades, and one badass colonial marine named Vasquez. Speaking of the colonial marines, let's talk about the ensemble cast. Sigourney Weaver returns as Ellen Ripley, and she was nominated for a Best Actress award for this. If there was any doubts about her survival instincts in the first film, this turns her into the Joan of Arc of outer space. But let's not forget the great supporting cast, a motley crew of colonial marines who are more than just alien fodder. From Bill Paxton's wise Kraken Hudson to Michael Bihn's stoic Hicks. These characters aren't just stereotypes, they're the spacefaring equivalent of a dysfunctional but lovable family. Paul Reiser's Burke is the corporate slimeball who makes you wish that the xenomorphs had a human resources department. Cameron didn't just give us more xenomorphs, he gave us the xenomorph queen, a gigantic, acid-spewing behemoth that makes the regular xenos look like intergalactic gnats. It's a boss battle for the ages, a showdown that still gives fans sweaty palms and a newfound respect for flamethrowers. The special effects hold up incredibly well. The practical effects, from the slimy eggs to the jaw-dropping queen puppetry, are a testament to a pre-CGI era, as is with most 80s films, when filmmakers had to get their hands dirty. The attention to detail is staggering, and it makes every xenomorph encounter a visceral experience. Cameron's direction is a masterclass in tension, pounding action with moments of quiet dread. The pulse rifle firefight in the hive, the tense escape from the atmosphere processor, and Ripley's final showdown with the Queen, each scene is a symphony of suspense that still leaves audiences on the edge of their seats. And let's not forget James Horner's iconic score, a haunting melody that set the tone for the film's unrelenting intensity. It's a musical accompaniment that's integral to the alien's experience as the sound of the xenomorph hisses. Is that good? Aliens isn't just a sequel, it's a cinematic juggernaut that solidified James Cameron as a sci-fi maestro. This film is a perfect blend of heart-pounding action, memorable characters, and stomach-turning horror. It's an adrenaline ride that takes you from the depths of space to the core of your adrenaline glands. So grab your pulse rifles, check your motion trackers, and prepare yourself for a journey into the heart of xenomorph territory. Alright, last at number 1, we have The Thing. Probably doesn't surprise y'all. Y'all probably came in knowing that my number 1 was going to be The Thing, because it's number 1 on most people's top 10 sci-fi horror list. But anyways, The Thing taught us that in the icy wilderness of Antarctica, that your friends may not be your friends, and that your dog may be harboring an otherworldly secret. First, I want to talk about MacReady, the gruff and whiskey-swilling anti-hero played by the great Kurt Russell. With his unruly beard and his cowboy hat, he is the kind of guy you want on your team when things kind of go south. And in Antarctica, things have the tendency to go south real fast. Russell brings a rugged charm to the role, making MacReady the everyman's hero. This shape-shifting entity is the ultimate body snatcher, a creature that can mimic anyone, and Carpenter plays with this paranormal like a master puppeteer. The scenes where the Thing reveals its true form, especially in the gruesome assimilation stages, are a special effects spectacle that still holds up today. The special effects team, led by Rob Bottin, deserves a standing ovation for their nightmarish creations that haunt our dreams decades later. And MacReady isn't just a hero. He's a reluctant leader in a snowbound apocalypse, facing a threat that not only threatens his life, but the very fabric of human identity. I love the film's setting, the desolate, snow-covered expanse of Antarctica. Carpenter turns this icy backdrop into a character in itself, a harsh and unforgiving environment that mirrors the relentless horror unfolding within the research facility. The frozen wasteland becomes a metaphor for the isolation and vulnerability of the human condition. The Thing is a frigid masterpiece that transcends the genre. Carpenter, Russell, and the special effects team deliver a chilling tale of extraterrestrial terror that digs deep into the human psyche. It's a modern folktale set against the dark canvas of Alaska, where trust is as elusive as a heat wave in the frozen tundra. I know you guys love it. I love it. What say you about it? Well, that wraps up my top 10 favorite sci-fi horror films. I hope you enjoyed this video. Were there any films on this list that stood out to you? Have you not seen any on this list? Let me know in the comments below. If this is your first time here and want to be a den dweller, hit that subscribe button and join us on our journey into the future. Also, remember to hit that like button, share this with your family and friends. Hit that notification bell on the way out. Again, I am Scott, from the movie den. We'll see you on the next one. What say you? See you next time. Yeah!